Magnificat anima mea Dominum,
et exsultat spiritus meus in Deo salutari meo.
Welcome to the new episode of the theme St. Teresa of Avila, Mother of Interior Souls. Now I would like to speak to you about friendship in the context of prayer. One who does not understand the saints may well have a problem here. How can St. Teresa of Avila, who found so much delight and fulfillment in her deep communion with unending beauty, desire, and experienced comfort in mere human beings? Best answer is Jesus himself. He enjoyed unspeakable closeness to his Father, for he said, "Yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me." Nevertheless, he desired the companionship and support of his disciples in his own agony. Teresa is in good company. St. Teresa considered it a great evil to be friendless amidst the dangers this world poses for those seeking God earnestly. St. Teresa's mention of St. John of the Cross, 27 years junior to her, is redolent of the esteem she bears him. She writes, "You would never believe how lonely I feel without John of the Cross. He is indeed the father of my soul, and one of those with whom it does me most good to have recourse." Converse. Her love for Father Jerome Gratian, 30 years junior to her, her favorite confessor and the first provincial of the discharged Carmelites, was one more demonstration of her appealing humanness. She was completely captivated by him, and for the remainder of her life she had an overwhelming affection for him. She called the 3 weeks spent in Gratian's company at Beas the best days of my life. And about the man himself, she said, "I have not yet fully realized his worth. To me, he is perfect and better for our needs than anyone else we could have asked God to send us. I have never seen anyone so perfect and so gentle." And as she recalled her first meeting with him, she wrote, "I would not have missed seeing him and dealing with him for anything in the world." During those weeks at Beas, Teresa had a vision in which she saw the Lord with Gratian at his right hand and herself at his left. The Lord joined Teresa's and Gratian's hands and told her that he wished me to take him in place of himself for my whole life long, and that we were to agree together in everything. Shortly after that, she had made a personal vow to obey Gratian in whatever command he might give her, provided it was not against the will of God or the superiors whom I was already bound to obey. Thus we are presented with the amazing spectacle of this 60-year-old woman who had already entered the highest regions of the spiritual and mystical life, making a vow to obey a 30-year-old priest almost as soon as she first met him and before she could possibly know him. This episode clearly demonstrates some impetuosity on St. Teresa's part. Teresa never regretted the vow during the remaining 7 years of her life, although she did become more aware of Gratian's defects, principally his alarming lack of good judgment and his stubbornness, and she chided him for them. But her affection for the man increased over the years, and she adopted an attitude towards him which was almost maternal. She wrote to him frequently, offering him solicitous advice about almost every detail of his life. She wrote once to him, "I am worried whether you have remembered to put on more clothes because the weather is getting cold." And again she wrote to him, "Stop devoting the hours when you ought to be asleep to making plans, however necessary they might be, or to prayer. Please do this out of kindness for me." She urged him to avoid the city of Seville because a plague was raging there. She wrote to him, "For the love of our Lord, do not yield to any temptation to go. It would be the death of us all if you did, or at any rate of me. Even if God kept you in good health, it would be the end of mine." And she wrote to the prioress of the convent at Seville, asking her to take good care of him because he so much needs to be looked after. Her friendship was compatible with her dedication to the virginal life. Her friendship was pure and chaste, non-possessive, non-exclusive. It is right and proper, even necessary, that wife and husband love each other possessively and exclusively. But the consecrated celibate loves universally. While this love is warm, deep, individual, it is neither limited to nor focused on one alone. St. Teresa was never upset or displeased when she noticed that someone else also loved her dear friend Father Gratian, and she herself loved deeply a goodly number of men and women. When our friendship goes out of the way, we become restless and take as an intruder and enemy the one who tries to get into friendship with our inordinately attached person. We will never be able to concentrate our attention to prayer life. When young men and women join the religious and seminary life, they are so full of love. During the course of their formation, they do not seem to develop their capacity for love. Often because of the talk about particular friendship or about the wrong kind of love, many religious men and women grow without any love in their lives. Besides, a wrong understanding of and attitude to the vow of chastity leads a progressive drying up of one's affectivity, so that celibacy ceases to be an experience of love. Love is always concrete, always the love of this particular person in his or her concrete reality. Universal love often means loving nobody. One has a pious, plastic smile for everybody, but one does not allow anyone to become significant to him or to her. St. Teresa's life shows that when we are fully immersed in the love of Jesus, we can love another person with the maximum intensity of human love, affection, without any mixture of unhealthiness. Thank you.